House must come into order. The House is going to start the business. Honorable members, warm greetings to all present in this august House. I am Akshita Shinde and it's my honor to serve as the Speaker of this Lok Sabha House. I hereby call the House to order and declare the mock parliament in session. This House stands as a pillar of our democracy where dialogue and discipline coexist. I express my heartfelt gratitude to our respected faculty members for their constant support and trust in us. Their encouragement has made this parliamentary session exercise possible. I also extend my warm welcome to our esteemed dignitaries for honoring us with their presence. Your presence motivates us to strive for the excellence. With this, I would like to call Ram Mohan Sir, our Academic Director and La Excellence of La Excellence IAS. So please join us and share a few words.
Good morning, everyone. So, and I must congratulate you for taking up this task of having mock parliament session. And first of all, I would like to appreciate Anu sir and Srinath sir and other your in charges for facilitating for having this mock parliament session. This is the first time that we are conducting this session, and I wish you all the very best and do well. And these type of sessions will improve your speaking skills, your presentation skills, and also it will remove the fear. Right, when it comes to addressing any crowd or in future, if you are going to become bureaucrat, you will be talking to people and all. So this, whatever presentations or mock parliaments or any kind of initiative that we take, that is to encourage you to speak freely and for your active participation. And I wish you all the very best, people who are participating actively today and people who are witnessing them in future. You should be part of the people who are going to participate. All the very best, and we wish you luck. Thank you.
Now I'd like to invite Anu Sir, our Academic Dean of La Excellence, to join us on the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. First of all, let's acknowledge the dignitaries who have willingly contributed in the sense they are part of the show. We even though they have classes scheduled at 11 o'clock, still the event wala they wanted to participate. That's a very good achievement for us. Hopefully, we'll have more such events in the future, and we wish to have more such events in the future. Hopefully, this event should set the template for the future events. We'll have all such events in order to encourage your personality. Do remember, La Excellence has this activity-based approach. Studies should not only help you to crack this exam, it should also shape your personality. So hopefully you will have solid arguments, and hopefully you will make such arguments in a more articulate way. ఇక్కడ ఒకటే గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, వాయిస్లో సౌండ్ ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్లో సౌండ్ ఉంటే సరిపోతుంది. ఓకే, హోప్ఫుల్లీ యూ విల్ ఆల్ మెయింటైన్ డెకరం, అండ్ హోప్ఫుల్లీ వీ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ టు యూజ్ అవర్ వాయిస్ టు కంట్రోల్ యూ. అంతే కదా? సో ఒక డిగ్రీ అంటే మంచి పాజిటివ్ వైబ్ మీరు తెప్పిస్తారని నేను ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఆన్ దట్ నోట్, ఆల్ ద వెరీ బెస్ట్, డూ వెల్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
With this, I would warmly welcome all the honorable members of the parliament to this session. Each member here represents a voice and aspiration of the people. Let our deliberations be guided by constitutional values. I urge all the members to maintain the dignity and decorum of the House. With this, we shall start our business. The House is in session. Honorable members, the House is now privileged to receive the Honorable President of India, Srimati Hasina. I request members to please rise. I now invite Her Excellency to the stage. I request you to kindly rise for the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे
House, please come to order. On behalf of the House, I once again express our deep gratitude to Honorable President of India for her gracious presence. I now invite Her Excellency to address the House.
Honorable Members of Parliament, it gives me immense pleasure to address this Parliament at the commencement of today's session. At this solemn moment, I extend my respectful salutations to the framers of our Constitution and to all those who have strengthened our democratic institutions through service and sacrifice. The values of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity continue to guide the Republic in both spirit and action. India today stands confident in its democratic foundation and resolute in its national purpose. My government approaches this session with humility before the Constitution, faith in the people, and clarity of direction in governance. National security and strategic preparedness. Honorable members, the security of the nation remains the foremost responsibility of the state. Over the past decade, India has taken decisive steps towards irreversible strategic autonomy in defense. Domestic defense production has increased from approximately 74,000 crore in 2014 to over 1.27 lakh crore in recent years. Defense exports, once marginal, have crossed 21,000 crore with Indian manufactured equipment reaching more than 85 countries. Internally, India has witnessed the most sustained reduction in violence since independence. Left-wing extremism affected districts have declined from 126 to fewer than 40. Civilian casualties have reduced by nearly 90%. In Jammu and Kashmir, terror incidents have declined substantially, while stone pelting, once routine, has been reduced to near zero. In the Northeast, peace accords and development-led engagement have enabled with the withdrawal of special security provisions from nearly 3/4 of the region. Security today is ensured not merely through deployment but through institutional coordination, infrastructure expansion, and citizen trust. Economic governance and fiscal responsibility. Esteemed members of this House, my government has pursued economic reform with inclusion and resilience. India's tax base has expanded significantly. The number of income tax returns filed annually has increased from about 3.8 crore to nearly 8 crore. Reflecting formalization and voluntary compliance, the goods and services tax has unified a fragmented market with monthly collections exceeding 2 lakh crore on multiple occasions. Through direct benefit transfer, more than 34 lakh crore has been transferred directly to beneficiaries, resulting in estimated savings of 3.5 lakh crore by eliminating leakages. Despite global shocks, including a pandemic and geopolitical disruptions, India has emerged as the fastest growing major economy. Public capital expenditure has increased nearly threefold since 2014, catalyzing private investment and long-term growth. The Unified Payments Interface, launched as a public digital unity, now processes over 100 billion transactions annually. With transaction values exceeding 200 lakh crore, India today accounts for nearly half of global real-time digital payment transactions by volume, an achievement unmatched internationally. This transformation has enabled instant, low-cost payments for citizens, micro merchants, farmers, and informal workers, while strengthening transparency, tax compliance, and economic inclusion, especially in rural and semi-urban India. Infrastructure and national integration. Esteemed representatives, infrastructure has been treated as a strategic national asset. The pace of highway construction has increased from approximately 12 kilometers per day to nearly 30 kilometers per day. Indian Railways has achieved 100% broad electrification, improving efficiency and sustainability. The number of operational airports has increased from 74 to over 150, connecting remote regions through the UDAN scheme. Infrastructure planning today integrates economic growth, defense logistics, and disaster preparedness through coordinated national frameworks. transformation and grassroots governance. Honorable members, during my government, development has been anchored in dignity and last mile delivery. Over 4 crore Pakka houses have been transacted under rural and urban housing missions. Rural sanitization coverage has expanded from less than 40% to near universal levels. Supporting by verification and sustainability protocols, financial inclusion, digital empowerment with transparent fund flow, and expenditure tracking and increasing women's participation in local governance have all been observed at village level. Manufacturing, trade, science, and global engagement. The House is well aware that India has emerged as a credible manufacturing and supply chain alternative. Foreign direct investment inflows have exceeded 650 billion over the past decade, the highest in Indian history. On the global stage, India has transitioned from a balancing power to a leading power with strategic autonomy. Leadership in the G20, humanitarian assistance, and development partnerships reflect India's growing global responsibility and credibility. India's energy capacity have crossed 430 gigawatts, with renewables growing at the fastest pace. India's space and scientific missions have been executed at globally competitive costs with increasing private sector participation. Education, skills, and human capital. Esteemed members, the national education policy represents the most comprehensive reform in decades, introducing multidisciplinary education, flexibility, and outcome-based learning. India's startup ecosystems has grown from a few hundred enterprises to over 1 lakh recognized startups, making India one of the world's largest innovation ecosystems. Health, agriculture, and social protection. The House recalls that Ayushman Bharat has become the world's largest government-funded health assurance program. Health infrastructure, including medical colleges, hospitals, and laboratories, has expanded significantly. In agriculture, India has achieved record food grain production exceeding 330 million tons, ensuring food security while supporting farmer incomes through direct transfers, insurance coverage, and irrigation expansion. Honorable members, the achievements I have outlined today reflect institutional continuity, disciplined governance, and collective national effort. India's progress has not been accidental. It is the outcome to reform in constitutional values, inclusion without fragmentation, and growth without exclusion. Our Bharat is a country of 140 crore people. We have diverse states, diverse regions, and diverse languages. Yet as one nation, we have only one identity, Bharat. And we have only one resolution, one goal, Viksit Bharat. We are all firmly committed to making India a developed nation in the coming years. This resolution is inspired by the sacrifices of the nation, the compassionate ideals of revered Bapu, and the oath of unity administered to us by the sons of Mother India like Sardar Patel. Let us once again reaffirm our resolution of unity and commit ourselves to realizing the dreams of India. As this House undertakes its deliberations, I urge all members to uphold the dignity of debate, respect democratic procedures, and place national interest above all considerations. When we move forward together, our future generations will surely witness a developed, empowered, capable, and prosperous Bharat in 2047. With faith in our Constitution, confidence in our people, and clarity of purpose, India will continue its steady march towards a developed, just, and self-reliant future. I wish you all the very best. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
By pausing our proceedings, I would like to thank our faculty members for honoring our house with their presence from their tight schedule. We would love that you would join us again in the future in the upcoming proceedings. Thank you, faculty members. Esteemed members of the House, on behalf of the House, I express a sincere gratitude to the Honorable President of India for her insightful address. With the permission of Her Excellency, the House shall now take up the motion of thanks for the President's address. I call upon the Leader of House, Shri Yogesh, to move the motion.
Honorable Speaker and honorable members of the House, I rise to convey the thanks to this august House to the Honorable President for her address, which reflects the strength, confidence, and resolve of a rising India. The President has clearly reaffirmed this government's commitment to national unity, internal security, and the sovereignty of the nation. Her address makes it clear that terrorism, extremism, and all forces that threaten the integrity of Bharat will be dealt with firmly and decisively. At the same time, the address lays out the vision of development anchored in strength, a strong economy, modern infrastructure, and an inclusive growth. This address is a call to collective responsibility, urging all of us to place the nation above politics and work together for the progress and dignity of the Republic. The President address also highlights that we are walking on a path to a new India, an India that will be unbent, unbowed, and unbroken. With these words, I move a vote of thanks to the Honorable President for her address. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
On behalf of House, I extend our heartful thanks to Honorable President of India, Srimati Hasina, for gracing her with her presence. I request the House to please rise as Her Excellency takes leave. Honorable members, before proceeding further, I request Honorable Deputy Speaker Purnami Malik to take chair and ascertain the presence of the quorum.
Quorum of the House shall be ascertained. Members will please rise. Quorum being present, the House may now proceed. Members may now be seated. I now call upon the Leader of Opposition, Sri Harsha Nayak, to initiate the question hour with their opening remarks.
I convey my heartful gratitude to Honorable Speaker Ma'am for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Speaker Ma'am, I rise today to deliver a crucial message regarding the matter at hand. I have carefully listed to the long list of historic achievements and record-breaking numbers presented by the government. They talk about India becoming a global growth driver and achieving irreversible strategic autonomy. They celebrate record tax collections and claim to have built the world's most inclusive digital infrastructure. But Speaker Ma'am, looking at this report, it feels like this government is living on a different planet. On their planet, everything is shining, digital and record-breaking. But on our planet, the real India, the truth is very different. While you celebrate digital payments, the poor struggle to buy food. While you celebrate defense exports, the youth are desperate for jobs. You have presented us with a book of statistics, but you have forgotten the book of reality. Today, on behalf of these common people who are invisible in your shiny report, I stand here with my party to burst a bubble with 5 questions. Thank you, ma'am.
Honorable members, we shall now take up start question for today's question hour. I request members to keep their questions brief and relevant, and ministers to keep their answers clear and to point. With this, we get started with start question number 120. I call upon Srimati Vaishnavi, MP of Palghar, to ask the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Now I ask this question to the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Minister, you celebrate transferring cash through PM Kisan, but remain silent and the skyrocketing cost of diesel, fertilizers and seeds. If your income security is real, then why is the average farmer rates are rising faster than their income? Are you giving with one hand and taking double with other?
I now call upon the Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Srimati Bhavani, to answer the question.
The government does not deny that input costs, diesel, fertilizer, seeds have increased due to global factors like crude oil price shocks, supply chain disruptions and climate stress. However, it would be incorrect to suggest that government is giving with one hand and taking with the other. First, PM Kisan is not a compensation scheme, it is a income support measure that provides direct corruption-free cash to farmers to meet immediate needs. Alongside this, we have kept fertilizer prices affordable by bearing a massive subsidy burden, preventing market prices from crushing small and marginal farmers. Second, through MSP procurement,
Farmers are assured a remunerative price. Procurement has expanded beyond wheat and rice to pulses and oil seeds, strengthening income security. Third is to address rising debt. We are reducing input dependency, not just increasing cash. Schemes like soil health cards, neem coated urea, promotion of organic and natural farming, Kisan credit cards at subsidized interest, crop insurance under PMFY, and irrigation projects are aimed at cutting costs and stabilizing incomes. Finally, income security is not a single scheme, it is a combination of price support, cost reduction, risk coverage, and market reforms. This government is committed to ensuring that farmers do not survive on debt but prosper with dignity. Our goal is not temporary relief but long-term resilience for every farmer of this nation.
We shall now take up start question number 158. I call upon Sri Pushpak, MP of Vijayawada, to ask the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to ask a question to Minister of Skill Development. Honorable Minister, you claim to have tens of millions of youth under Skill India mission. The numbers look great on paper, but I asked the Minister, where are appointment letters? A certificate does not fill a stomach. Have you actually created jobs? Or have you just created a massive army of skilled and frustrated unemployed youth who are forced to deliver pizza to survive?
I now call upon Minister of Commerce and Skill Development, Srimati Radhe Pandya, to answer the question.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. I respect the concern raised. But the assumption in the question need to be corrected with facts. With your permission, I'd like to place the government's perspective on records. First, Skill India was never a job guarantee scheme. It is a human capital reform. The Ministry of Skill Development does not issue appointment letters. Second, let me place facts on records. Under Skill India, over 5 crore youth have been trained across manufacturing, healthcare and other sectors. These jobs did not fall from sky. They exist because the government expanded the economy, not just because we distributed slogans. Under the schemes like Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Yojana and Dayal Upadhyaya Gramin Kaushal Yojana, Apprenticeship India, candidates are tracked for placements, wage employment, self-employment or upskilling. Dignity of labor must not be mocked. Delivering food or working at gig platform is not a failure of policy. It is income with flexibility and often transitional. Gig and platform work is not an failure of policy, but it is a global structural shift in labor market. Our government is the first to recognize gig workers under the Code of Social Security, extending insurance, maternity benefits and pension, something previous governments never imagined. Skills do not guarantee job, they guarantee employability. This government gave youth tools, not excuses. We created capacities, not dependencies, and we will not apologize for empowering India's workforce. We created employability, the market will create job, and the opposition is creating noise. Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I would like to ask supplementary question on this matter.
Yes, you may.
The Minister clarifies Skill India is about employability, not jobs. My question is, what is employment rate? Specifically, the share of Skill India trainees who are in regular salaried employment 12 months after completing training. How does this compare to employment rate untrained youth from similar background? If your human capital reforms so effective, this rate should be significantly higher. Certificates and gig work registration are inputs. We are asking for outcome in terms of stable livelihood.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. Through you, I'll answer this precisely and conclusively. First, outcomes, not inputs. 58% to 62% of Skill India trained candidates are in regular and semi-regular salaried employment within 12 months of certification. Of this, 38 to 41% are in formal employment with employment fund and insurance coverage. In contrast, untrained youth from comparable socio-economic backgrounds record 27% to 30% of regular employment, with formal employment below 15%. Average monthly earnings at trained candidates are 30 to 35% higher than untrained youths. Job retention at 12 months is 54% for trained youths and 30% for untrained youths. In manufacturing, logistics and construction trades, formalization rates exceed 54%. Madam Speaker, the opposition is outgraded today because the data exposes yesterday. They governed without skills, without industries, without foresight, and now demand outcomes they never earned. The allegations are completely rejected. Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker.
We shall now take up start question number 170. I call upon Srimati Veeraja from MP of Coimbatore to ask the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I would like to ask this question to the IT Minister. Honorable Minister, in view of rising deepfake content, foreign digital interference, and misuse of social media platforms to destabilize public order, could you briefly inform the House what concrete steps the government has taken in 2024 to 25 to safeguard India's digital sovereignty and information integrity?
I now call upon Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Sri Yashwant, to answer the question.
In absence of Honorable IT Minister, I will answer.
We shall skip this question. We shall now take up start question number 257. I call upon Srimati Deepika, MP of Inner Manipur, to ask the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving this opportunity. I ask a question to you, to Minister of Environment. You claim forest cover is increasing, but the truth is you count roadside plantations and private gardens as forests to hide the truth. Meanwhile, you are auctioning off our actual tribal forests to mining companies in the name of transparency. My question is, are you actually saving the environment, or are you just redefining the word forest so you can sell our land to cooperative friends? Thank you.
I now call upon the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Sri Gautam, to answer the question.
Honorable Madam Speaker, I thank the Honorable Member of Opposition for their passionate question. It is easy to craft a narration, but the facts on the ground tell a much more complex story of balancing ecological integrity with national development. Madam Speaker, let me address their concern through you. Firstly, on the definition of forest cover. The methodology used to assess forest cover is not a political innovation. We follow international standards set by FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. Any area over 1 hectare with over 10% canopy is a forest. Global standings. India ranks 3rd globally in net annual forest gain and 9th in total forest area as of 2025. Carbon absorption. India's total carbon stock has reached 7,204 million tons, proving that the green cover is a functional carbon sink, not just a cosmetic figure. Safeguarding tribal rights and sovereignty. Mining is not an auction of tribal land, but a regulated process under the Van Samrakshan Evam Samvardhan Adhinayam 2023. Community empowerment. The number of community reserves which give tribes legal stewardship has surged from 48 in 2014 over 300 in 2026. No forest land is diverted without mandated settlement of rights under the FRA Forest Rights Act 2006. Every hectare is diverted is compensated by a larger area are funded by the 58,000 crore Campa fund. Mining is prioritized for critical minerals like lithium, cobalt and copper, which are essential for India's net zero 2020 mission and manufacturing of solar panels and EV batteries. Madam Speaker, I like to provide some stats. Forest area global rank in 2014 it was 10th. Now we are in 9th rank. The number of protected areas in 2014 were 690 and now they are 1014. And the number of tiger reserves in 2014 were 47. Now we have 58 tiger reserves. Madam Speaker, the opposition sees a sellout where the world sees a global green leader. We are the only G20 nation meeting its climate targets ahead of schedule, proving that our growth is not at the cost of environment but for its preservation. Madam Speaker, honorable members, thank you for allowing me to address this.
We shall now take up start question number 209. I call upon Srimati Pravalika, MP of Kanpur, to ask the question.
Honorable Madam Speaker, I convey my gratitude to you for giving me this opportunity. Now, I would like to ask this question to the Ministry of Women and Child Development. Honorable Minister, could you briefly tell the House how recent women-centric initiatives have strengthened economic independence and leadership opportunities for women, particularly at the grassroots level?
I now call upon the Minister of Women and Child Development, Srimati Pravalika, to answer the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I respect the concern raised. Women are the backbone of the machine. Statutorily, at least 1/3 of the employment days are reserved for women, while in the practice, women already contribute 55 to 58% of total person days nationally. Over 9 crore women workers are registered, with 85% of wages directly into the women's bank account, strengthening the financial independence. In the last decade, women wages participation has risen by over 40% of payment delays has sharply declined due to the 100% of DBT, and the guarantee is now enhanced to 125 days priority to SC, STs, landless and women-headed households, along with the linkages to skills. SGS and livelihood is driving higher female workforce participation, better household nutrition and improved girls' education outcomes. The bill makes women economic stakeholders, not beneficiaries of Viksit Bharat, backed by the law and hard data. Thank you.
We shall now take up start question number 305. I call upon Sri Sarvajit Sena, MP of Mahbubabad, to ask the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. Madam Speaker, I want to ask you a question on behalf of you to MSME Minister, that you use a fancy word called formalization to praise your GST and digital reforms. But in simple language, formalization just means crushing the cash-based small business that couldn't afford expensive accountants and software. My question is that, did you formalize the economy, or did you just eliminate the poor street vendors and small traders to clear the path for big online shopping companies?
I now call upon the Minister of Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises, Srimati Sloka, to answer the question.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I thank the Honorable Member for raising this important concern regarding the GST formalization. First of all, let me be very clear, formalization was never about eliminating the poor, but it was always about ending their invisibility. And for decades, street vendors and small traders were outside the system. They had no legal identity, no bank credits, no insurance, no pension, no protection from exploitation. This meant vulnerability for them. Yes, the transition to GST and digital systems caused initial difficulties, especially for small vendors. The government is fully aware about the stress faced by MSMEs. But the reforms without transition pain is a myth. The government has separately introduced Udyami Bharat, through which MSMEs get credit guarantees, payment securities and procurement support. Through Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme, over 4 lakh crore credits was given to MSMEs during the pandemic crisis. Now coming to the allegation of clearing the path for big companies. Madam Speaker, this government has already clearly stated that e-commerce is not replacement for small companies or traders, but it is an opportunity for them. Today, lakhs of kirana stores, artisans, weavers and micro entrepreneurs sell online using e-commerce websites, now expanding markets beyond the street corners. If in actual formalization was elimination, then why did MSME sector contribute nearly 30% to the GDP and contribute over 110 million jobs today? Madam Speaker, Formalization did not crush the poor, it gave them a name, a fame, a number, and a future. Thank you, madam.
Madam Speaker, may I ask a supplementary question to the Minister?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Minister claims that every large unit creates hundreds of MSMEs around it. My supplementary question is that what is the net change in number of registered MSMEs since implementations of GST and PLI schemes? If, as you claim, formality is a gift and large industries spawn small ones, the data should be shown a massive net increase. Please provide the figure. How many MSMEs have been added versus how many have exited from formal register since form begins? We need the net.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, the Honorable Member is asking for a net exist number that no economy in the world do maintain for MSMEs. But MSMEs are not licensed entities unlike the large industries. They are dynamic, seasonal, and temporarily inactive. So especially in our economy as dynamic as ours, we don't have this kind of data existed. And we do have is a credible registration data, and this data is very clear. Since the introduction of Udyam registration in 2020, India has registered over 6 crore MSMEs, and the majority of them are after GST stabilization, and this data is official. Second, GST did not eliminate MSMEs, it filtered informality. Units that were earlier invisible were brought into formal system. Third, on PLI scheme, the member must understand that the PLI is not designed to replace MSMEs but to anchor the value chain. Each PLI supported units created demand for tooling, logistics, components, service, packaging and maintenance, where the MSMEs are the primary beneficiaries. Honorable Speaker, Madam, the real metrics of success does not only depends on how many existed, but it depends upon the credit growth of MSMEs. MSME shares in export is about 40% and procurement from MSMEs has crossed 10 lakh crores. I therefore submit the net impact of GST and PLI schemes has been a strong expansion of MSMEs in the formal economy. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
We shall now take up start question number 355. I call upon Srimati Ramya from South Delhi, MP of South Delhi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I am going to ask this question to Education Ministry through you. They love to count how many new IITs and IIMs they have opened, but these are for top 1% of the students. But what about other 99% of the students, Madam Speaker? The local state universities and primary schools are crumbling with no teachers and no roofs. Are you Education Minister for only few of the IITians, or do you have about the millions of elite fews in IITs, or do you have about the millions of ordinary students rotting in broken colleges with useless degrees?
I now call upon the Minister of Education, Sri Manideep, to answer the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First, I would reject the statements raised by the concerned opposition MP. World-class institutions are not built overnight. Every IIT and AIMS, including the oldest ones, started in the phases with a limited faculty and infrastructure. Faculty recruitment is a continuous and global process, and our government will not compromise for the quality just to fill your posts quickly. The expansion of the IITs and AIMS was necessary to correct the regional imbalance and give students across the India equal access to the excellence. Alongside, we are fast-tracking the recruitment process, encouraging the international faculty and strengthening the research under the national education policy. Instead of calling these institutions as the empty campuses that ignore the students, doctors and researchers who have been already serving in the nation. And our government is building for the next 50 years, not for your just simply photographs.
Madam Speaker, with your permission, can I ask a supplementary question?
Yes, you may.
Honorable Speaker, the Minister talks about the standards and not compromising the quality for the new IITs and IIMs. My question is simple. What is the student to faculty ratio in the new IITs opened in the last 10 years and how does it compare to the old IITs? If quality is not being compromised, the number should be similar. Please give us specific figures. Can the Minister place on record today the exact percentage of graduates from India's ordinary state universities and colleges, the one you are neglecting, who are employable as per the latest government survey? And then, can he tell this house how many of them are currently working as the delivery riders in small gig job unrelated to their expensive or useless degrees?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would counter her opposition MP statement. First, on the student-faculty ratio, the approved norm of IIT is 10:1, and the new IITs are currently in the range of 12:1 to 15:1, which is within the acceptance of the global standards. And let me also remind the House that the older IITs had much poorer ratios in their initial years, and which our comparing the new institutions with the 60-year-old, which is simply unfair. And second, on the matters of the state universities negligency, our government has not neglected any of the state university. Through the National Education Policy 2020 and skill-based reforms, we are strengthening the curriculum, infrastructure, and industrial linkage across the country. Third, I strongly condemn the remark about the graduates working as the delivery riders. All honest work deserves respect, and gig jobs are the reality of the today's economy and do not make any degree useless. Our government believes in both quality and inclusion, building the world-class institutions while improving the entire education system that shape the future generations. And the narrative suggested by the opposition is completely misleading and completely politically innovative. I reject it completely. Thank you, ma'am.
Honorable members, we shall now take up unstart questions. The reply have been given in written and circulated to the members. No supplementary questions are permitted. With this, the question hour stands concluded. I now request Honorable Speaker to resume the chair for 0 hour.
Honorable members, the question hour stands concluded. Now, the 0 hour is taken up. Matters of urgent public importance must be raised. The members shall be brief, precise, and strictly relevant to their questions and the matters raised. Chair's permission must be taken before answering and questioning. And with this, we are going to begin the 0 hour. Now I call Shri Sena, MP of Mehboobabaad, to start the 0 hour.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. I want to ask this question to Mr. Mukesh, Member of Parliament from Goa.
Member, please maintain the order of the House.
So, when will the Union government bring the requirement amendment or ordinance so that legal ore mining can resume in North Goa and affected workers can get their jobs back?
Concerned Minister may answer the question. Member, can you please repeat to which ministry you have asked the question?
I have asked this question to Mr. Mukesh, Member of Parliament from that area. Constituency Goa, North Goa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The data relevant to the respective question will be answered in the written form, will be submitted to the House tomorrow.
Members, this is unparliamentary wordings. I warn you. Tanushri, the MP from Adilabad, Telangana, may ask your next question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would ask question through Nishant. Constituency Mizoram, Manipur, Mizoram.
Question.
Who is Dinesh Kumar? He is sports person. Who is Dinesh Kumar?
Member, please address the chair over here and ask the question.
Okay. As he is the sports minister, so I would ask question, who is Dinesh Kumar? Who is Abhinaya Rajan? So I want details of Dinesh Kumar.
You want details of minister?
I want sports person of detail of Dinesh Kumar.
It's unparliamentary. Ruling party, please maintain the decorum of the House. You are raising an urgent public matter, member? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So please raise the matter.
I would ask constitution of sports person.
Who is the sports minister? Yes, ma'am. Please ask the question.
Who is Dinesh Kumar?
Member, this is not an urgent public matter. You may raise urgent public matters in the 0 hour.
I directly reject this question.
Please, member, please be seated. Moving on to the next question. Mahima MP from Ranchi, Jharkhand.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I want to raise the question to the Honorable MP from Darjeeling. Your constituency has witnessed decades of democratic movements demanding Gorkhaland, peaceful agitation, sacrifices and demanded assurances by your own party leaders during elections. Yet after coming to power multiple times at center, you have not even provided a constitutional roadmap. Can you tell this House, is Darjeeling politically useful only during elections and dispensable after votes are secured?
Concerned minister may raise and answer the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would thank the opposition member for the question. I would like to answer
The question 3. So as far as opposition mentioned about the many political instabilities and on the Gorkha land, we have been coming up with our own strategies and solutions for each and every problem as far as they are being controlled and well monitored. So as if I could say, instability in Darjeeling was created by irresponsible shutdowns, politics of past, and not governance failure. Since restoration of normalcy, schools, terrorism, trade, and running, all these are well managed and not because of political instability. And even if there is any such kind of difference in brought by any group or in any group, political group was well recognized and solved and being solved till today. So I could say that Darjeeling today has peace instead of shutdowns, governance instead of uncertainty, and development instead of neglect. The opposition thrives to instability, the government strives to stability. History will judge not noise, but by results. Thank you.
Come to order. Now the next question from Shreya, MP from South Bangalore, Karnataka.
Honorable Speaker, I rise under 0 hour to concerning MP of Kanpur.
Please ask the question.
Under Kanpur and Namami Ganga project, it has become a symbol of policy failure under Namami Gange. Industries are shut, jobs are lost, but the Ganga is still polluted. Is the river rejuvenation or livelihood destruction without results? Who is accountable for sewage treatment failures at Jajma Upland? And why are workers being punished for the administrative collapse? I demand answer today. Will the government pay a monthly surveillance allowance to every worker sitting at the home? Will you order a judicial inquiry at the Jajma plant failure? If the minister is silent,
order.
It proves you care more about your image than the people. We will not let the house rest until the locks of Kanpur future is broken.
Member of Kanpur may answer the question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I respect the concern. The data relevant to the respective question will be answered in written form. It will be submitted to the House tomorrow.
The next question from Shiva, MP of Mehboob Nagar, Telangana. Members, I would like you to keep your questions very brief and in a minute. We are short of time. I might conclude the question 0 hour.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving this opportunity to me. Can I proceed with my questions?
Yes, you may.
Ma'am, in 2025, according to 2025 report, in Rajasthan, we ranked second in India with around 8,000 registered cases of anti-caste violence, and it was the official records provided by National Crime Records Bureau. I want to ask the question to Minister of Jaipur that even though we are at 78th independence, celebrating 78th independence and celebrating 75th democratic India, why this still untouchables exist, and what the government is doing in the present time, even though it is existing from 78 years, what the government is doing for 78 years. Moreover, they are in the power for 10 years. What the damn they have done for these many years?
Member, unparliamentary language.
Sorry.
Order. House must come to the order.
What the things government have done? I ask the question, if they took measures, then what the improvement they have brought from these many years? Still, there are cases around 8,000 plus. What is the government is doing? Do government is promoting untouchability or it's promoting?
Conclude the question.
Yeah.
Can I ask which member you have asked? Jaipur? Yeah. Member of Jaipur, please answer the question.
Ma'am, can I take 2 minutes?
No, you are short of time. Member, please be quick.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. Through you, I'll answer this precisely and conclusively. Anti-caste violence is being dealt with on war footing. Untouchability has been reduced by 27% in just past 5 years. The government will duly strive for equality, and equality doesn't just comes by a government policy. It is an initiative taken by people. It's not only the government spreading schemes and doing. When the people themselves start taking initiatives to solve, and from 78 years, I don't think only our government has been ruling and encouraging untouchability. Our government has created many strict rules against untouchability, and as we all know that no member in parliament who is following untouchability is eligible to sit here. If our government is following untouchability, how are we eligible to sit here and participate in this debate? Most of the untouchabilities have decreased due to our reforms taken, and to our opposition, we will give everything in a written document by tomorrow. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The next question by Jagruti, MP from Chittambaram, Tamil Nadu. You should have raised the point of order. Supplementary you told.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. Through zero mark, I draw the attention of this House to the issue of Kaziranga constituency, represented by the Honorable MP Satvika Garu. Kaziranga is famous for wildlife, but people living around the park face serious human-animal conflict. Nearly 1,400 people were died. What permanent safety measures were taken by the government? Secondly, apart from seasonal tourism, what permanent employment has been created for Kaziranga youth during this tenure? युवाओं को सिर्फ गाइड नहीं बनना चाहिए मैडम स्पीकर, फ्यूचर चाहिए.
Member Sadvika can raise and answer the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Kaziranga constituency faces the challenges of balancing conservation, development, and human rights with floods, human-wildlife conflict, and eco-sensitive infrastructure being the most pressing issues.
Point of order.
Please raise the point of order.
He's telling again the issues. We haven't got the
The answer
answer.
will be submitted tomorrow in the written form.
Moving further, Prasanna, MP from Guntur, AP can ask the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to ask Tripura West, where Agartala is capital of Tripura West, there is no big industries and job creating units. Because of this, many educated youth are unemployed and forced to go out of the state to low-paid jobs. Is this government aware of this, and what the steps they have taken?
Member of constituency from Tripura may answer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving this opportunity to answer this question. I would like to answer this question. PMEGP helped unemployment youth and first generation entrepreneurs establish micro enterprises by providing bank credit with government subsidy. Under NITE, MSMEs receive capital investment incentives, transport subsidiary, GST reminder, reimbursement, and IT benefits, making Tripura attractive for industrial investment. PM Vishwakarma supported traditional artisans. Thank you for asking this question.
Yunus Khan, you may please raise and ask the question. Member, we have 3 minutes to conclude our talk. Please.
Before asking questions, I have two kindly requests. I will speak in my native language if needed. Another is I respect the foreign policy, and I know government will do great things. But నా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే, ఇప్పుడు మీరు బాగా చేస్తారో నాకు తెలుసు, కానీ ఇంత స్టేజ్కి ఎలా తెప్పించుకున్నారని అలాంటి ఆన్సర్ ఇవ్వండి. నేను ఇది చేస్తా అని చెప్పకండి. So, Honorable Speaker, I rise today to expose the monumental failure of the government foreign policy. We have seen 90 plus foreign trips of the PM Yogesh across 75 countries, and billions of taxpayer money has been went into this just on meetings, drinking coconut water and hugging diplomacy. But the question remains, what is the result of it? Firstly, I question Minister of External Affairs about the failure of neighborhood first policy. Look at Nepal, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Bhutan and Bangladesh. Every neighbor of India has gone their first visit to China rather than India. Why? For example, PM KP Sharma visits China first rather than India. He also joins the Belt and Road Initiative of China. Second, Maldives, your government candidates are mocking Maldives government candidates that they are Chinese puppets. Because of this, Maldives government also slipping away from India. Next, Sri Lanka, drowning in debts. So they didn't have choice to lease Hambantota port for 99 years and welcoming Chinese Navy ships, which is threat to India. And then Bhutan, land is being used by China, creating red alert for India in last 11 years. What were you doing? And Bangladesh, Muhammad Yunus, the interim government meet China in their first visit and said that India has a choke point. We can easily take the 7 sisters from them. What were you doing? Okay.
Please conclude. We are short of time.
Okay. Then I will ask, there is also Pakistan issue. Because of time, I will skip this. Then I will ask about your friend, Donald Trump. Not friend, friend. Now I will talk about you, but not now, your friend. You are being anti-Trump recently. So what were you doing first? High level of stupidity can be seen when one head of the state and other head of state meet, and our Yogesh Prime Minister is campaigning for Trump. Agli baat Trump sarkar. If Trump రాకపోయింటే ఎలా ఉండేది అసలు USA తో మా రిలేషన్? ఎంత స్టూపిడిటీ అంటే ఇది.
Member, we are out of time. Would you like the minister to answer, or you will just raise
చాలా ఉన్నాయి డొనాల్డ్ ట్రంప్ ది. ఇంకోటి లాస్ట్ రీసెంట్లీ ఆన్ సాటర్డే Donald Trump attacked Venezuela and brought the President Maduro from his democratic country. If your friend Donald can enter a sovereign country and capture his enemy, why are you scared? Why can't you go to Pakistan and bring that luxury Taiba?
Member, please be seated.
Last 1 minute. Last 30 seconds. Please. లష్కర్ ఏ తైబా వాళ్ళు ఇంకా వేరే టెర్రరిస్ట్ వాళ్ళు మీకు కూడా తెలుసు పాకిస్తాన్లో ఉన్నారని, కానీ డొనాల్డ్ ట్రంప్ లాగా మీరు వెళ్ళలేకపోయారు కదా. ఎందుకు? మీరు భయపడుతున్నారా? ఈ క్వశ్చన్ కాదు, అన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆన్సర్ చేయండి.
Member, please be seated.
10 seconds. Last.
Order. The house must come to order.
Please, 10 seconds. Last, I will talk about chronic capitalism. మీరు ట్రిప్స్ చేస్తున్నారు కదా, ప్రజలకి ఏమొచ్చిందో తెలియదు కానీ అదానికి అంబానీకి పక్కా బిజినెస్ ఆపర్చునిటీ వస్తాయి. తంజానియాలో, కెన్యాలో, మయన్మార్లో, శ్రీలంకలో ప్రతి దగ్గర వచ్చినాయి. లాస్ట్లో నేను సొల్యూషన్ ఇద్దాం అనుకుంటే ఏంటంటే, మీరు ప్రజల కోసం పనిచేయండి, మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ కోసం కాదు. సెకండ్,
ప్లీజ్ బి సీటెడ్, యు ఆర్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ టైం.
థాంక్యూ.
Minister, please rise and answer the question. Minister, please rise and answer the question. We are extending the question 0 hour for 3 minutes and then we will conclude.
Sure. Firstly, they want the answer so that what we have taken steps and not what we will do, right? So yes, let me first address that. Sarcastically, I don't know, his question is like an answer. What he says is the answer.
Address the chair, not the member.
Sure. Firstly, our PM Yogesh foreign trips, they are not trips, they are diplomatic meetings. Now, diplomatic meetings are diplomatic meetings.
You can use your mother tongue. I allow you under Article 120.
Sure, thank you. Diplomatic meetings అనేవి దే ఆర్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ అవుట్కమ్స్, అంతే. అవుట్కమ్స్ పట్టుకొని మీరు అవుట్ ఆఫ్ న్యూస్ని మీరు దాన్ని ఇప్పుడు షూర్ వీఆర్ మేకింగ్ ఇన్ యువర్ గవర్నమెంట్స్ టెన్యూర్ PM's visited China and it resulted in India being attacked by China in the Indo-China war. I don't want opposition to speak in this. Thank you. And next,
in our PM's
He is addressing your question, opposition. Please listen.
in
The
our
point of order is upstate.
Thank you. In our PM's resume and in our PM's trips, we have strengthened India. We have made India into the leader of South Asia. Which country? Show me a country who have made India South Asia, the leader of South Asia. And yes, we led the G20.
House come to order. We are not able to listen to the message.
And yes, we led the G20. I don't want them to debate, ma'am. Let me address the question. Yes, thank you. And next, the next question is, he has told about the cooperative
Please
and
be quick. We are out of time.
yeah, sure. He had made the cooperative and government synthesis, right? Let me make it for you. I think the MP who has asked, I think he has slept in his economy classes. Like, listen, when business cooperatives get permissions in Kenya, Nigeria, in all the countries, he has said, it is the PM's trips, it is the PM's resume and his trips that has provided the Indians jobs. There are over 36 million Indians, overseas citizens of India, and persons of Indian origin working in these countries, and we have provided them employment, we have provided them security. Show me a country who has said like that. And yes, they blatantly tell about USA. See, Trump, we all know how Trump was. Before electing, he was the most kindest, make America great again slogan. After that, he had shown his true colors. Yes, India from December 2021 itself, my consulate has been issuing statements on USA's and India's relations, and I want them to read it first. I want them to make the data and questions first. No. The thing is,
Member, please stick to the point of order.
Sure. And yes, the next is, why being Venezuela in all of the things, right? India's policy and neighborhood first policy is all about we making relations with our neighbors. And yes, we have a Gandhian policy. Oh yes, of course, Gandhian policy, they walk in the Gandhian policy, right? They are making fun of their own policies. Like, come on, where's the point going? So yes, we don't.
Conclude your statement.
Last statement. We walk on a path. I don't want interruptions.
Member, I am the chair. I will decide who to speak and who not to speak. Address the chair at all the time.
Sure, ma'am.
Member, please.
Yes, let me conclude this statement. India walks on a path which is peaceful and which is strategic, which is not defensive. And yes, even though we make relations with other countries, it is all about Indian centric and Indian people centric. Unlike their government, we are not going to keep people's life at stake, and we are not going to make our borders invisible to other countries. Thank you. With this, I conclude my statement.
Please do not damage the furniture. With this, I conclude the 0 hour. The government has duly noted your concerns and necessary actions will be taken and the answers will be given in the statement if required. 0 hour now stands concluded. Now moving further, the next item on our business agenda is Bill's passage. The first bill on our agenda is Overseas Indian Citizens and Diaspora Protection Bill 2026. I call upon the Honorable Minister of External Affairs, Shri D. Harsha, to move for leave to introduce the bill.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to rise and introduce my bill. The bill was
Indian Citizens and Diaspora Protection 2025, which seeks to establish a comprehensive statutory framework for the protection, welfare, and evacuation of Indian citizens abroad during times of crisis. India today has the world's largest diaspora, with over 32 million Indians living and working overseas. Recent global developments, conflicts, pandemics, natural disasters, and underscored and vulnerabilities faced by our citizens abroad and the need for structured institutional preparedness. This bill seeks to institutionalize India's long-standing commitment by ensuring timely consular assistance, evacuation, welfare support, coordinated crisis response. It complements existing laws without diluting any safeguards while strengthening accountability through dedicated institutional mechanisms and parliamentary oversight. Honorable Speaker, this legislation is humanitarian in intent and constitutional in spirit and national in responsibility. It affirms that protection of Indian citizens does not end at our borders. It travels with them. Thank you.
With this, bill is in the House. The question before the House now is the leave be granted to introduce the bill of Overseas Indian Citizens and Diaspora Protection Bill 2026. Those in favor can say ayes.
Ayes.
And those against can say nice.
Nice.
I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. With this, the leave is granted to introduce the bill. Bill stands introduced in the House. House shall consider its principles and its objectives. Members may engage in general discussions for the bill. Minister, you can stand and introduce the bill.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. With your due permission, I will briefly explain the key provisions of Overseas Indian Citizens and Diaspora Protection Bill 2025 so that the House may clearly appreciate its scope and intent. Clause 1 to Clause 2 deal with the short title, the definitions. These clauses clearly define who constitutes an overseas Indian and what qualifies as a crisis situation and the nature of the consular assistance, thereby removing ambiguity and ensuring uniform interpretation. Clause 3 and Clause 4 lay down the core entitlements under the bill. They affirm the right of overseas Indians to timely consular assistance and provide a statutory basis for evacuation and repatriation during notified crises. Clause 5 and Clause 6 establish the institutional framework. The bill provides for the dedicated national authority under the Ministry of External Affairs and Standing Crisis Response mechanism to ensure coordination among Indian missions abroad and central ministries, state governments, and other agencies. This moves India from an ad hoc response model to a prepared and institutional one. Clauses 7 and 8 focus on evacuation, welfare, and support. These provisions authorize evacuation through civilian and military assets when required and ensure access to emergency shelter, medical aid, legal assistance, and temporary documentation for affected citizens. Clause 9 provides for a dedicated Overseas Indian Protection Fund, ensuring financial readiness and transparency during emergencies. Clauses 10 and 11 strengthen technology, accountability, and oversight by mandating digital registration for crisis communication in an annual report to Parliament detailing evacuations, assistance is provided, and funds utilized. Finally, clauses 12 to 14 clarify the bill operates in addition to the existing laws, empowers the government to frame rules, and protects actions taken in good faith. Honorable Speaker, taken together, these provisions ensure preparedness, accountability, and institutional clarity while reaffirming that state's policy towards its citizens abroad. The bill does not create new discretion, it creates structured responsibility. I commend it to the House for thoughtful consideration. Thank you.
Now, the honorable members from the opposition can participate in the discussion.
I reject this bill because our minister has changed this bill morning, I think. In chapter 6, clause 10, the digital registrations were not mandatory. You mentioned it as voluntary. I can show you here. You have changed the bill. So,
Point is noted.
if you accept this, I will proceed. Or not, I will sit.
I ask to repeat the question again.
చాప్టర్ 6లో క్లాస్ 10లో డిజిటల్ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ అనేది వాలంటరీ అని చెప్పారు బిల్లో. నువ్వు ఇప్పుడు లేసి మ్యాండటరీ ఎందుకు అంటున్నావు? చేంజ్ చేశారా? చేయలేదా?
Please stand and answer the question.
Madam Speaker, I think the opposition must have reconsidered the situation, but it was not changed.
I can show you. I have proof.
Volunteer, can you please bring the bills to me?
Data technology and accountability, digitalization and tracking. Digital payment for voluntary registration. They have changed it to mandatory.
From Minister. Minister, please be quick.
అరే మ్యాండటరీ రా, అది వాలంటరీ. నేను చూపిస్తాను నీకు ఫోన్లో కూడా చూపిస్తాను.
వాలంటరీ మ్యాండటరీ. ఓకే, ఆన్సర్ చెప్పండి. అది ఎందుకు మ్యాండటరీ?
ఆన్సర్ చెప్పడం ఎందుకు మార్చారు లాస్ట్లో? లాస్ట్ మూమెంట్ మార్చారు మీరు. దాని మీద నాకు క్వశ్చన్ ఉంది, అందుకే చెప్తున్నా మార్చారని.
Chapter 10, right? Chapter 10. Mandating.
Phone there.
Mandating. Remember, you have changed the. Now, please rise and answer the question. The point of order is duly noted. Order. Pass the mic. Minister wants to answer.
I have questions. Just raise your objection.
You want him to for the mandatory.
Okay.
You can raise the point of order.
We have given the final draft of the bill to you, ma'am. It is the superseding authority of the speaker, which has been shared to the speaker, right, ma'am?
Yeah, I have shared the same bill over there.
We have the same bill too, ma'am.
Night.
We haven't changed anything, ma'am. We have the same bill which you have received, ma'am. How can anything be changed when the speaker herself has received the final draft? How can anything be changed?
The final draft is the which I have shared with them.
Yes, ma'am. The same draft we have here, ma'am. We don't have that much time to change the bill, ma'am. The final draft which was sent to you is here.
The bill was untouched from the moment that it was made. It was made, the changes were not made by our people. I think it's a cheap tricks of the opposition to make it out of. This is just simply undue. Thank you.
The clause will be shifted in the later discussions. Now moving on to the important clauses. Please, if you have any point of orders to raise, if you have any objections on the different clauses, you can please raise opposition.
Thank you, Speaker. I will speak in my native language if you permit.
I allow.
मोहतरम स्पीकर साहिबा, आज मैं ओवरसीज इंडियन सिटीजन और डायस्पोरा प्रोटेक्शन बिल 2025 पर अपनी सख्त एतराज दर्ज करने के लिए खड़ा हुआ हूँ। सरकार दावा कर रही है कि वो ओवरसीज इंडियन की हिफाजत करेगी। I will translate for you. Just sit.
Member, please maintain the order. I have allowed the member to speak in his native language. Please sit. Yeah, from your party there should be a translator, right?
Don't.
Maintain the decorum of the house. Member, please be seated. The member is raising the points.
सरकार दावा कर रही है कि वो इस बिल के जरिए ओवरसीज इंडियंस की हिफाजत करेगी, पर मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगता। इस बिल पढ़ने के बाद मुझे एक शायरी याद आती है। कागजों में तो हर शख्स महफूज नजर आता है, कागजों में तो हर शख्स महफूज नजर आता है, पर सरहद पर हकीकत कुछ और बताती है। मिनिस्टर, स्पीकर मोहतरमा, हकीकत यह है कि ये बिल सिर्फ NOIPA के नाम पर एक नया ब्यूरोक्रेसी का ढांचा खड़ा कर रही है। MEA मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स के नीचे NOIPA के कयाम एक भूल भुलैया के जैसा है। हमारे पास पहले से ही मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स और आर्म्ड फोर्सेस की एक निज़ाम मौजूद है। ये बिल कहता है कि NOIPA इन सब के साथ कोऑर्डिनेट करेगा, पर मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगता। मगर ये वाज़ेह नहीं करता कि ये क्या ये नया इख्तिदारा मौजूदा क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट ग्रुप्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से ऊपर होगा या नीचे होगा हायरार्की में। और क्राइसिस के वक्त स्पीड की ज़रूरी होती है, तो जब ये सब इतने इख्तिदारा है, इतने इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, तो किसका ऑर्डर चलेगा? क्योंकि जब हेल्प डिले होगी, डिलेड मीन्स डेथ। थैंक यू।
Member, please repeat the last statement.
So, because they have created this NOIPA authority, they have just added another layer of bureaucracy to already existing complex bureaucracy. So I am just telling that it is not necessary. You can strengthen already existing bureaucracy. It is overlapping and it will cause red tapeism. Red tapeism means delayed means death.
Member, please ask Chair's permission before rising.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to answer the purposeless question. Firstly, let me make this straight. let me make this straight. Firstly, an extra layer of bureaucracy would not halt the process. And yes, let me give you the stats. The bill itself mentions that large scale 90 large scale evacuations and humanitarian assistance operations since 2014. Operation Rehat, Operation Ganga, Operation Vande Bharat, Devi Shakti, Ajay, they have evacuated nearly 70 lakhs Indians and more. But it's about.
Honorable Speaker, I would like to. The reason that I have mentioned these facts are very simple and straightforward. Let me present my points. The creation of the AEVA bureaucracy. It's not about strengthening, but about integrating. The data itself shows that no delay in evacuations has shown a single death in 10 years of our governance. In 10 years of what we have achieved. And yes,
Order.
Not even a single one. In evacuation, we have not even faced a single death. Yeah. And next, I would like to substantiate his own question, which was obviously an answer. So the thing is, he had asked about what India's what adding the bureaucracy could do of our governance. Like we are following the bureaucracy that they have been given, that they have passed since 2014, and of course no official adding in the bureaucracy was there. No official adding in the bureaucracy was there, but still adding a bureaucracy is all about integrating all the expertise, which would result in successful evacuation. But the question, of course, it was an insufficient question, and I would like to substantiate my answer to Radhe Pandya. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. Can I speak in my native language in Rajasthani?
No.
In Hindi?
Yes.
So आपने बोला था कि भाई once can give me the bill once. So हम सबको पता है कि बांग्लादेश में भी हिंदुस्तानी रहते हैं, like Indians first it was a subcontinent. पर हम सब recent current affairs से everyone हम सबको recent current affair पता है कि already एक हिंदू को रोड के बीच में they made him naked and they burned him. So वैसे हिंदूस को जो हिंदूस not only particularly Hindus, the Indians who are living in other countries, they need protection. Who will protect them? So this bill is creating a separate department so that the External Affairs Ministry is very vast.
Listen to the minister's address.
The External Ministry is not just a small ministry. It has to deal with many things. So our External Ministry is planning to start one more department so that the people who are facing problem in the foreign can get quick solutions rather than getting it delayed. And this act to be in addition to existing laws. ఇదేం కొత్తగా చేయట్లేదు. ఉన్న లాస్ లోనే ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ లాస్ లోనే ఇది ఒక అడిషన్ మాత్రం. థ్యాంక్ యూ మేడం స్పీకర్.
I would like to conclude this in just half a minute, in just 1 minute and a half.
The opposition would like to raise.
I would like to conclude the statement. Thank you. I would like to conclude the statement. Then we conclude the statement. Oh, they ask questions like answers and we tell this. That's lagging.
Member, they want to raise a clause in your bill.
First, I would like to answer Radhya Pandey. My first question is, does Pakistanis and Bangladeshis are considered as overseas Indian citizens or not? Please answer it.
Minister, you.
Are they I need just yes or no. No, yes or no, please. Please, I have question to ask. Please, yes or no. Does Pakistanis and Bangladeshis are considered as overseas citizens? I just want to know yes or no.
I'm not the concerned.
But you asked. Okay. Yes, no, right?
Order. House must come to order.
Is it yes? Is it yes?
Member, Please. No.
They are
He
saying no.
stated no.
She is- Oh, okay.
The Minister of External Affairs has stated no.
Okay. Then her question is irrelevant.
Okay.
And another is, she said that in clause 12 of the Act, this Act shall exist additional to the existing laws, right? I will list out the contradictions with already existing laws. For example, Immigration Act, it overlaps Immigration Act 1983, Citizenship Act 1954, and Passport Act 1967, Disaster Management Act 2005, Repatriation of Prisoners Act 2003, or Aircraft Act 1934, and so on. If they want in detail, I can explain or not.
Minister, can please raise an answer.
I want to ask.
Mics. Telugu? Yes.
మీరు యాక్ట్స్ అన్ని యాక్ట్స్ చెప్పకండి. ఆ యాక్ట్స్ దీనికి రిలవెంట్ ఎట్లా ఉంది, దీనికి ఎక్కడ ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది అది చెప్పండి. మీరు సరిగా చెప్పకపోతే మేము
Minister, repetition is not allowed. The member has already raised the concern.
Exactly. I want.
Order. Order.
I want them to exactly how does the overlapping would affect my time.
Be quick with mics, please. Let's discuss the important clauses of the bill. Why are you sticking with the same term? That's important for us.
Among all these acts I mentioned, I will just explain two because time. Example, in Citizenship Act 1955, there is a clear distinguishment between Indian origin person and overseas Indian citizen. Indian origin persons have given full rights, and overseas Indians were given not all rights, just passport benefits. In your act, you are saying the right to evacuate and right to timely consular assistance have given to both these Indian origins people and overseas citizens. Don't this contradict this Citizenship Act? One. Second, in Passport Act 1967, does the NOIPA has the authority to issue on-the-spot document bypassing Passport Act verification? If yes, it creates security loophole. NOIPA is creating temporary documents bypassing Passport Act verifications. And in Disaster Management Act, my last clarification, who is powerful? Disaster Management Authority headed by Prime Minister or overseas authority, your act headed by bureaucracy. This contradicts. Thank you.
After this statement, we are going for the voting. 2 minutes.
That's a very blatant question. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will give this answer and a conclusion to this bill discussions as a statement that is given by the MP Yunus Khan. So yes, the thing is, the bills that they have mentioned, the provisions that they have mentioned, the overlapping, and the
Opposition maintain the order. Listen to the minister.
The overlapping of the bureaucracies never and will not lead to the external ministry. They make to say me the same thing again and again. The bureaucracy have never failed to address the evacuation sightings, and yes, the bills, and yes, the bills that we have present makes a cultured and a separate structure for overseas Indian citizens. And yes, you are the government who made during the partition time. You are the government who made 1 million people die on our borders.
Let's pause to listen to the point of order.
The existing laws.
Does the existing laws prevail or the overseas act that they made?
I don't want the ruling government which have failed from the last before the 10 years, who have failed to who are failed to make the governance, not teach us governance, because
Decorum of house should be maintained. Minister, the point of order is raised and point of order is taken into the rule.
We want to, yes, we want to save every Indian. It's not a should. We want to save every Indian. So yes, we have the I don't understand. The bill is about the principle and not about the discussion. The bill is about the bill is about the principle and not about the discussion.
The two questions were asked, Minister.
I have answered the question correctly.
Prevails this law?
Which acts prevail? The existing laws are yours. If there is
Yes, my act will prevail. Yes, I have brought this bill to make my act prevail, to remove all these structural inadequacies, right?
Point of order 2 to be noted also. You have asked which like PMs headed also and Minister, you can conclude. We will move for more voting.
Yeah, thank you. The thing is, they have shown past bills, right? I have brought this bill to make it structured. I have brought this bill to remove the inadequacies mentioned by them. This bill, make them read it again and again. I don't care. But this bill structures each and everything. This bill shows which government institution prevails. The structure which prevails. Thank you.
I have read the bill again and again, just like you told. Now I would like to raise a concern. In clause 14, take action in good faith, a shield for incompetence and negligence. It means no matter how poorly planned an evacuation, how many citizens are left behind due to bureaucratic failure, or how funds are misappropriated. The government cannot be sued if it claims it acts in good faith. This removes all legal accountability and denies citizens a fundamental right to seek justice. The bill itself mentions to provide a comprehensive statutory framework. Why did not such a framework introduced earlier despite multiple evacuation operations since 2014? You have itself mentioned since 2014 5 operations has been undertaken. Then why you have not mentioned still you are in power for 10 years? Then why you are not mentioned in that 10 years?
Madam Speaker, I want to give this answer. I want to state this very clearly for the House. The good faith clause.
Ruling party come to order.
The good faith clause does not override the rights of overseas Indian, nor does it place the state beyond scrutiny. First, the protection is strictly limited to actions taken in good faith during extraordinary situations such as armed conflict, mass evacuation, humanitarian emergencies. It does not cover negligence, malfide intent, or willful misconduct, all of which remain fully justiciable under the existing laws. Secondly, the bill explicitly operates in addition to and not in derogation of existing legal remedies. Overseas Indians continue to have full access to constitutional remedies under Article 32 and 226. Civil and criminal proceedings where applicable, administrative grievances mechanisms through Indian missions and the Ministry of External Affairs. Third, Madam, experience has shown why such a clause is essential. During large-scale operations like Vande Bharat, which repatriated over 60 lakh citizens, and Operation Ganga conducted in an active war zone, decisions had to be taken within minutes, not days. Officers on the ground coordinate flights, land corridors, and military assets under extreme uncertainty. Without good faith protection, decision-making paralysis becomes a real risk, something no responsible government can afford during a crisis. Fourthly, this clause is not unique. Similar protections exist under the Disaster Management Act 2005, the Epidemic Diseases Act, and the several welfare legislations of which have been repeatedly upheld by courts as necessary to enable swift humanitarian actions. Finally, Madam, accountability is ensured through mandatory annual reporting to Parliament, financial audits of the Protection Fund, and parliamentary oversight of executive action. Good faith safeguards swift decisions, accountability, and safeguard justice, and this bill ensures both.
A last question is up for the discussion. Opposition, you may raise.
The ruling party members are blah blah answers, scripted answers, giving blah blah answers, and this.
Order. Both the parties should come to order.
Can I speak in my mother tongue?
Telugu?
Yes.
Yes, you.
గవర్నమెంట్ అక్కడ 20 మెంబర్స్ చనిపోతే ఇక్కడ గుడ్ ఫెయిత్ అని ఎలాగంటారు? ఆ గుడ్ ఫెయిత్ క్లాస్ ని డిలీట్ చేయండి, లేదంటే మీ గవర్నమెంట్ మస్ట్ బి అకౌంటబుల్. రీప్లేస్ ఇట్ విత్ క్లియర్ దట్ ఈస్ అకౌంటబుల్. అది అకౌంటబుల్ అసలు కాదు. అక్కడ చనిపోతే మీరు ఎలా ఇర్రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ గా ఉన్నారు? మీ రూలింగ్ పార్టీ అంతా స్క్రిప్టెడ్ ఆన్సర్ చదువుతుంది. అలా కాకుండా ఈ గుడ్ ఫెయిత్ ప్రాపర్ ఆన్సర్ మీ నుంచి ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను.
Member can raise an answer. Please be short and also give your conclusion at the same time.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll speak this answer to you. Firstly, let me mention, it was nice that she had mentioned the last clause. It was expected. I would like to, the CRPC, the Article 20. Well, there was an act called Prevention and Detection Act, right? Everyone knows about it. The thing is, to save many people, we use this act as a last resort to arrest a person to save many people, and it is this interpretation that this clause was added. So losing this clause would deal with two things. First, the constitutional morality, which of course the opposition does not respect, of course, and then it goes to the rights. And next, the second thing, it would delay in operations that we have taken. Of course, MP Adarsh has already responded. Delay is failure. So yes, this clause was brought as to remove delays, as we have already done it 10 years. I don't want to repeat the same thing again.
Yeah, repetition is not allowed. You may please conclude your statement.
Yeah, thank you.
Order. Decorum.
Honorable Madam Speaker, this bill does not seek applause. It seeks preparedness. It does not rely on emotion. It responds to evidence, and it does not wait for tragedy to justify action. Because government that waits for tragedy has already failed. This House is not debating an abstract policy. It is debating a principle. When Indian citizens are caught in wars, pandemics, or disasters beyond our borders, hesitation is not neutrality. It is abandonment. This bill removes hesitation from the conduct of the Indian state. This bill stands as a preparedness over politics, protection over posturing, and responsibility over rhetoric principles set by opposition. And yes, we will strive for a planet. Hesitation and abandonment is not the answer. Unlike the government has done, keeping people's lives at stake all this time. That is the reason why it is easier in the ruling and makes it in opposition.
The House should come to order. The general discussions on the bill are now being concluded. Now the question before the House is the Overseas Indian Citizens and Diaspora Protection Bill 2026 be passed. Those in favor can say ayes. Ayes. And those against can say nice. Nice. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The bill is passed. The Overseas Indian Citizens and Diaspora Protection Bill 2026 having been passed by Lok Sabha shall be transmitted to the Rajya Sabha. Moving on to the next item on the business agenda, that is Viksit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Gramin Bill 2025. I call upon Honorable Minister of Rural and Panchayat Raj, Srimati Rishita, to move the bill to introduce.
Honorable Madam Speaker, I rise today to introduce the bill Viksit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Mission 2025, a visionary and people-centric legislation that seeks to strengthen the foundation of our nation, our villages. India's development cannot be imagined without the development of Gram Panchayats. The goal of Viksit Bharat will remain incomplete unless our villages are empowered socially, economically and institutionally. The VBG Ramji Bill 2025 Viksit Bharat Gram is designed to ensure holistic, inclusive and sustainable rural transformation. I urge this august House to support the bill in the large interest of the nation. Thank you, ma'am.
Now, the question before the House is that leave be granted to introduce the bill, the Viksit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Gramin Bill 2025. Those in favor can say ayes. Ayes. And those against can say nice. Nice. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The leave is granted to introduce the bill. The House shall now consider its principles and objectives. The Minister can introduce the bill.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. This bill established Vikasit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Mission Gramin as a transformatory and rights-based framework for rural employment and livelihood. It guarantees 125 days of wage employment to every rural registered household in notified rural areas. Work will be provided within the 15 days of demand, and failing which an unemployment allowances will be provided. This mission integrates Rozgar with Ajivika, shifting the focus from short-term relief to durable asset creation, skill development, and sustainable rural income. Priority is given to women, vulnerable groups, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and 1/3 of the reservation is given to women. Implementation rests with Panchayat institutions supported by dedicated mission structure at state and central level. Transparency, social audits, timely digital payments, and grievance redress are statutorily ensured. Funding is secured through dedicated central fund with 60:40 ratio shared between center and state. All existing work entitlements are fully protected during the transition. Sir, respected Honorable Ma'am, this bill strengthens rural dignity, productivity, and self-reliance, laying a firm foundation for Vikasit Bharat. Thank you.
For this bill, I would like to kangaroo closure, where we will jump on to the important parts of the bill and you can discuss about the important clauses of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, I would like to oppose the introduction of the proposed bill, VB Jiramji Bill, which is a deeply regrettable steps for our nation. My first objection, as with others, is why has the central government restricted the benefits of this scheme only to notified areas, which you have stated in Chapter 3? So, by this you are telling that the ministers will decide which district to start and which places will get food by just sitting in Delhi.
The Minister can rise and answer the question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Ma'am. So now I would like to answer the question raised by the opposition. Firstly, I would say that distress and poverty is not uniformly spread across the India. We need to take special concern of the poor. So notified rural areas are decided through rural unemployment, poverty, and agrarian distress. And this clause of the bill is in support. It is in line with the Article 14 of the Constitution, which give priority over equity over equality, targeted justice over uniformity. I would state the stats that over 60% of the poorer rural households are concentrated only 1/3 of the districts. And I would say that uniformity leads to the dilution of funds and reduce the effective implementation of the scheme.
Opposition can raise.
Thank you.
The poverty is not static. If a person overall nights and punishment and
He may become poor. And one more thing, the poor households which are outside of the notified areas, are they not deserve to get the benefits of this scheme?
The repetition of the question has been done over here. Remember, she has already answered the question.
రూలింగ్ గవర్నమెంట్ మాకు ఏమంటారు క్రిటిసైజ్ చేయకూడదని మేము బిల్లులో ఎంత తెలివిగా మార్చిందంటే క్లాజెస్ వర్డింగ్స్ నేను చెప్తా ఒక్క నిమిషం చాప్టర్ 3 5th 1 clause 1 నాట్ డ్రివెన్ బై డిమాండ్ అని సారీ అంటే డిమాండ్ డ్రివెన్ అంటున్నారు వీళ్ళు అంటే ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ ఎలా ఇస్తారు డిమాండ్ డ్రివెన్ ఇస్తారంట గ్యారంటీ ఉన్నప్పుడు డిమాండ్ డ్రివెన్ ఎలా అవుతుంది ఈ సప్లై డ్రివెన్ అవుతుంది వీళ్ళు ఈ క్రిటిక్తో తప్పించుకోవాలని వాళ్ళ బిల్లులో ఒక ఫ్యాలసీ క్రియేట్ చేశారు డిమాండ్ డ్రివెన్ ఏంటి ఇక్కడ సప్లై డివైన్ ఉండాలి. లాజిక్ లేదు, వీళ్ళకి అర్థమైతే బాగుంటుంది. అర్థం కాలేదా?
Opposition, please be seated. The point is noted.
ఇప్పుడు మీరు అంటున్నారు కదా గ్యారంటీ. సారీ హానరబుల్ స్పీకర్ మ్యామ్, కెన్ ఐ స్పీక్ ఇన్ తెలుగు?
Yeah, permission is granted. Yeah, opposition, the point of order is noted. Let the minister answer the question.
ఇది డిమాండ్ డ్రివెన్ స్కీమే. ఎందుకంటే అసలు డిమాండ్ లేకుండా జాబ్ ఎట్లా వర్క్ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ ఎట్లా ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తారు? ఫస్ట్
Let the minister finish, then you can raise your point of order. नहीं, उन्होंने बोला कि अगर जॉब के लिए डिमांड ही नहीं होगी तो जॉब सप्लाई क्यों कैसा करे वो लोग?
నోటిఫైడ్ ఏరియాలో సప్లై డివైన్ ఉండాలి. నోటిఫైడ్ ఏరియా ఉంటే డిమాండ్ డ్రివెన్ అస్సలు అవ్వదు.
నోటిఫైడ్ ఏరియా ఉన్న డిమాండ్ డ్రివెన్ అవుతుంది. ఎందుకంటే అవుతుంది.
Maintain the decorum of the house. Maintain dignity of your post. You are being elected over here. Opposition. Yeah.
I will explain your opposition with clarity. ఇప్పుడు నోటిఫైడ్ ఏరియాస్ మేము ఎట్లా చేస్తాం? పావర్టీ, అన్ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ అట్లనే మేము చేస్తాం కదా, కేటగరైజ్ చేస్తాం. అదర్ ఏరియాస్, నోటిఫైడ్ కాని ఏరియాస్ లో అసలు డిమాండ్ లేనప్పుడు అక్కడ ఎందుకు ప్రొవైడ్ చేయడం అవసరం లేదు. ఇప్పుడు ఈ నోటిఫైడ్ ఏరియాస్ లో కూడా డిమాండ్ అనేది 15 days లో మేము ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాం. అట్లా అన్నప్పుడు ఇది సప్లై డివెన్ కాదు, డిమాండ్ డివెన్ అవుతుంది. థ్యాంక్ యూ మేడం స్పీకర్.
Next question, please.
ఇంకోలాజికల్ ఫ్యాలసీ ఏంటంటే ఇంకోలాజికల్ ఫ్యాలసీ ఇంకోలాజికల్ ఫ్యాలసీ ఏంటంటే మీరు గ్యారంటీ ఇస్తున్నారు అంటే ఏంటి? ఇక్కడ ఎంత నోటిఫైడ్ ఏరియాలో నేను చెప్తున్నా, ఇది నోటిఫైడ్ ఏరియా అనుకుందాం, మాకు అందరికీ వర్క్ ఇస్తారు మీరు, అదే కదా పాయింట్. మీరు ఒక క్లాజ్ ఉంది, ఇది ఇక్కడ ఉంది, దాంట్లో ఏమంటున్నారంటే ప్రయారిటీ ఇస్తున్నారు.
State the clause.
క్లాజ్ 9 వీళ్ళు ప్రయారిటీ ఇస్తున్నారు. ఒకవేళ ప్రయారిటీ ఇస్తే అంటే ఏంటి? వీళ్ళ దగ్గర జాబ్స్ లేవు, ప్రయారిటీ వాళ్ళకి ఫస్ట్ ఇస్తామని అర్థం. గ్యారంటీ ఇవ్వట్లేదు. ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే క్లాస్ 9లోనే క్లాస్ 2 ఇలాజికల్ పార్ట్ ఇదే. అందరికి ఇస్తారంటే 1/3 రిజర్వేషన్ ఎలా ఇస్తారు? లాజిక్ ఉండాలి కదా. అందరికి ఇస్తారంటే 1/3 మళ్ళీ ఉమెన్కి ఇస్తారంట. 125 days అందరికీ అలా, మళ్ళీ దాంట్లో 1/3 ఉమెన్కి ఎలా ఇస్తారు? లాజికల్ ఫ్యాలసీ ఉంది. వీళ్ళు తప్పించుకోవాలని, ఓన్లీ మా క్రిటిక్స్తో తప్పించుకోవాలని అలా చేశారు.
ఇప్పుడు నోటిఫైడ్ ఏరియాస్ లో ప్రయారిటీ అనేది ఎందుకు ఇస్తారంటే వాళ్ళు బ్యాక్వర్డ్ కాబట్టి వాళ్ళకి సపోర్ట్ ఇవ్వడానికి ప్రయారిటీ ఇస్తాడు. ఒకవేళ నేను నీకు ప్రయారిటీ ఇస్తున్నా అంటే ఇంకొకరికి నేను జాబ్ ఇవ్వను, ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ ఇవ్వడం అనేది ఉండదు. ఇంకొక స్ట్రాటజీ చెప్పాలంటే 70% ఆఫ్ ద రూరల్ హౌస్ హోల్డ్స్ ఆర్ ఉమెన్, వల్నరబుల్, షెడ్యూల్ క్యాస్ట్, షెడ్యూల్ ట్రైబ్స్. ఇందుకు మేము ప్రయారిటీ అనేది ఇస్తున్నాం. ప్రయారిటీ ఇవ్వడం వల్ల వేరే వాళ్ళకి ఎక్స్క్లూడ్ చేద్దామని లేదు.
Will you take one question? One question is being taken. Yeah.
125 days గ్యారెంటీ ఇస్తారంటే మళ్ళీ దాంట్లో రిజర్వేషన్ ఎలా ఇస్తారు? 125 days రిజర్వేషన్ అందరికి ఇస్తానప్పుడు మళ్ళీ రిజర్వేషన్.
Yeah, the minister will answer. Minister, please answer.
అందరిలో 1/3 రిజర్వేషన్ ఎందుకని అడుగుతున్నారు కదా, ఎట్లా ఇస్తారని. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు రూరల్ హౌస్ హోల్డ్స్ ఉన్నారు, ఎక్కువ శాతం ఉమెన్ కి ఎందుకు 1/3 రిజర్వేషన్ ఇస్తున్నారు? అందరికి 125. ఎందుకంటే రూరల్ హౌస్ హోల్డ్ ఉమెన్ అనే వాళ్ళే ఎక్కువ హౌస్ హోల్డ్ కి అంటే.
Minister, repetition of the answer is being done over here. Member, please again raise the point of order. Let the minister think about it. Please raise again. Last fallacy wala statement malli idea leda.
ఇప్పుడు 125 days అందరికి గ్యారెంటీ కదా, అవును కదా. ఇప్పుడు టోటల్ వర్క్ డేస్ ఇప్పుడు నలుగురు ఉన్నాం మేము, నలుగురు ఎంత 125 to 4
ఇప్పుడు 1/3 రిజర్వేషన్ అంటే
member is raising the point of order because you haven't listened it.
500లో 1/3 ఉమెన్స్ కి ఇస్తారంట, అదే లాజిక్ లేదు కదా.
ఇప్పుడు 125 days లో 1/3 రిజర్వేషన్ మేము ఇస్తున్నాం. ఆ రిజర్వేషన్ ఇస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి ఓన్లీ ఆ రోజు మాత్రం మేము ఓన్లీ ఉమెన్ కే ఇస్తామని లేదు, వేరే వేరే మెన్ కూడా మేము ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ అనేది ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాం. పంపియం ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాం. రిజర్వేషన్
ఇప్పుడు ఇదంతా కాదు కానీ ఫస్ట్ బాబు పేరు ఎందుకు తీసినారు చెప్పండి. మహాత్మా గాంధీ బాబు పేరు ఎందుకు తీశారు? బాబు సారీ. Your house come to order. Your minister is speaking. House come to order.
సో బాబు పేరు ఎందుకు తీసేసారని నేను అడుగుతున్నా. ఫస్ట్ ఇక్కడ స్ట్రక్చరల్ రిఫార్మ్ అనేది మేము చేసినాం. మహాత్మా గాంధీ ఎంజీ నరేగా ఓన్లీ షార్ట్ టర్మ్ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ అనేది ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు మేము తీసుకొచ్చిన బిల్లో షార్ట్ టర్మ్ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ దట్ ఈస్ రోజ్గార్. ఆ షార్ట్ టర్మ్ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ తో పాటు లాంగ్ టర్మ్ లైవ్లీహుడ్ అనేది ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాం. స్కిల్ అనేది మేము ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాం, దట్ ఈస్ అజీవిక. అందుకే ఈ పేరు రోజ్గార్ అండ్ అజీవిక మిషన్ రామ్జీ బిల్ అని వచ్చింది.
Minister at the same time conclude. Opposition. The bill must be passed. Wait.
Honorable Madam Speaker, now I am going to conclude the bill. The Vikasit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Bill marks a decisive shift from fragmented welfare to assured empowerment. It strengthens the foundation laid by rural employment programs by expanding the...
House must come to order. The minister is speaking. Maintain decorum. You are in house.
By expanding the guarantee of work, timely wage payment, asset creation, and sustainable livelihood, aligning with the local needs and ecological priorities. Passing this bill is not a political choice, but a moral and economic imperative, an investment in rural resilience, national productivity, and collective resolve to realize a truly Vikasit Bharat. Thank you, ma'am.
I would like to notify and keep it in the records that honorable members of the opposition has expressed an unparliamentary way of refusal. With this, the refusal must be taken down from the House of Records, and with this, we are going to conclude the discussion on the bill. With this, the question before the House now is that the Viksit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Gramin Bill be passed. Those in favor can say ayes. Aye. And those against can say nice. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The bill is deemed to be passed. The Viksit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Gramin Bill, having been passed by Lok Sabha, shall be transmitted to Rajya Sabha. Honorable members, now we are going to conclude the morning session. With this, the House shall adjourn till 2 o'clock.